And thank you, and through your worship to Councillor Congal, staff are currently preparing some information, the 25 meter versus 50 meter, other considerations that you just mentioned, location to other 50 meter pools in the area, et cetera. So we are doing some stakeholder engagement. We're embarking on that. We've yet to meet with the Trojan Swim Club specifically, but stakeholder engagements are planned for early in the new year. And we'll bring some information back. We'll also include Mr. Buse on that as well.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. That's all my questions.
I've got Councillor Hamilton.
Thank you, and through you, Mayor Nuttall. Just building on the recreation centre again, I'm getting a lot of questions similar to Councillor Kungal from just timelines perspective. So I think majority of my residents are very excited to see that this land's been purchased and we're moving forward. But the constant question I get is what's next? When is public consultation? When are we going to get confirmation of the ancillary fields that are going to go there? What are the timelines to get those up and developed? So I'm just wondering if you can speak high level and sort of what the next steps are and timelines that the public can expect.
Sure, happy to. Through your worship to Councillor Hamilton. So within the city's capital plan, our detailed design work for the facility doesn't happen until 2027 and then construction thereafter. But before we get into that, we do have to do public consultation, as Mr. Datum has said. So I would expect to do the public consultation, that piece that nails down the various elements. And we have a plan, we have a layout, but some time has passed as well, right? So we want to validate and make sure that we're building the right thing, the thing that people actually need and want.
And sorry, just follow up, just to confirm on that. So I know the design wasn't until 2026, was it? 2027? 2027. Yeah. And so it would be after 2027 that you would see any of the fields, or is it sort of the building gets built and then the fields? Is there, I've never built a brand new recreation facility. I'm just wondering kind of the phases of that.
Excellent question. So ordinarily we would try and build it all at once because that's usually the most cost-effective way of doing something. However, in this case, the realities of the site and the site servicing, you know, there's the water and the sewer and that sort of thing. We can't open the building without those in place as well, right? So that's the initial planning, and that's the work that we're doing kind of right now. We've kicked off, and that'll go on for several more months. I think we have to come back to council with the plan. We could certainly build the whole thing at once, but we could also phase it if there's an appetite to do that as well.
And I was, thank you, Councillor Hamilton. I was actually going to ask some of the same questions. Just to really drill in, is there a possibility for us to get a site plan figured out sooner than later and commence with fields going in advance of an actual construction of a rec center? Because like we know we do have deficits in some of our, not all of them, but some of our sports. Is that something that we could look at or direct staff to look at? Is that even a consideration?
Your worship, so the answer is yes. And I think that's something that staff were looking at anyways. So the first thing we have to do is kind of get the water and the sewer and that sort of thing in. But once we do that, the site work, and some ancillary structures that would happen that would support the fields could go in advance of the actual building. It's all part of a plan, right? We do have a site plan already. So it's a matter of circulating what we've got to see whether that still works, and all the amenities that we've planned in the past are still appropriate.
It's nice when a lot of different things come together, right? If council thinks about $34.5 million from the province, made us so that we could actually afford to put in the sewers and water pipes there. That project, I think, started this week or last week or next week, something like that, around that. Yeah. And so all of that's now happening. I think it's going to line up pretty nicely. And so if there are opportunities to commence with services on the site, and when I say services, I don't mean the water, wastewater, but the fields, et cetera, opportunities for the public to use it in advance of the completion of the entire thing. For me, I would feel very, very good about that. So I'll leave that one there. I have a follow-up question for you on the Performing Arts Center. So there was a vote by council originally. We were looking at building some room and leaving some space that would maybe later be built. I think council voted in the meeting to actually allow for that to happen in the scope of the build. And I'm thinking it was Councillor Harvey that that brought it up. Is council remembering? Yeah. And that was the space that would allow for some of the organizations to have rental or to put recording studios, those types of things in. Do you know if that's in the scope of what you're dealing with right now, or is that outside of the scope of what you're dealing with right now?
So, Your Worship, I recall the discussion. I don't recall it being approved. So it shows up as kind of a dotted line on our plan currently. It's not part of the current scope.
Can we double check that
Sure.
didn't get approved? Because I kind of felt like it at least got a take a look and come back. But I don't off the top of my head recall. So, okay, great. Is there any other questions? Sorry, I didn't go to you there, Councillor.
I just wanted to follow up on your question in terms of can we get fields started on the recreation center early, particularly a cricket field, because we're very short on that. So is there a possibility of doing that early?
Through Your Worship to Councillor Rietma, there's a possibility to do whatever council would like us to do. For sure there is. We will come back to you with the overall plan and our recommendations, and you can correct us along the way.
As my father always said, anything's possible if you have enough money. So I would put that in that category. But we do want to know, and I think if there is a cost, like give council the opportunity to say yay or nay to it. Okay, so that takes us through, and Mr. Schmidt, over to you.
Thank you, Mayor Nuttall. Through you to members of the committee. So since September 9th of this year, when the state of emergency was declared, coordinated efforts between the city, the County of Simcoe, and Barrie Police Services have led to measurable progress in addressing encampments-related challenges on city-owned property. Outreach teams have prioritized compassionate engagement, offering shelter options throughout the county and storage tailored to individual needs. As of October 27th, and based on data provided by the County of Simcoe through their HIFIS system, there are 607 active homeless individuals linked to Barrie, of which 54 individuals have been identified as living in encampments in Barrie. As previously noted, the County of Simcoe and the City of Barrie have slightly different definitions as to what is considered an encampment. The county defines encampments to be outdoor structures that are actively being used overnight by 2 or more individuals experiencing homelessness, whereas the city considers an encampment to be one tent or structure on a property. So with that in mind, as of October 29th, under the emergency order, the City of Barrie and the County of Simcoe have addressed over 20 encampments in the city. Yes, 20. Besides the more significant sites, Malcaster, Bradford Street, and Victoria Street, the majority of the sites have either been identified as abandoned following investigation or were locations containing debris that only required cleanup efforts. Since the declaration, the number of encampments on city-owned property has decreased from 35 to 15, demonstrating measurable progress. Of the remaining 15 sites, there are approximately 90 individuals that have been identified by the city as living in encampments. As directed under the emergency order, the city's Enforcement Services Division has established a dedicated encampment response team, which is comprised of 4 staff members. Their key responsibility is to focus on proactive outreach and site management throughout the city. City staff, along with our partners at the County of Simcoe and Barrie Police, will continue to work collaboratively in addressing further encampments in the city. Staff will continue to provide weekly updates to the council during this emergency order. And further information can be found on the city's dedicated webpage at barrie.ca addressing encampments. That concludes my update, and happy to address any questions you may have.
Thank you, Mr. Schmidt. Any questions for members of committee or those in attendance? Go ahead.
Through you, Mayor Nuttall, to Mr. Schmidt. Can I just get those current numbers again, please?
Sure. Through you, Mayor Nuttall, to Councillor Courser. So as of October 27th, there's 607 active homeless individuals linked to Barrie, of which 54 individuals are identified as living in encampments. Again, that's based on the county's HIFIS system. According to the city, the way we identify encampments, essentially we're saying that there's 15 sites and approximately 90 individuals that are living in encampments.
I'm sorry, so in the city right now, according to sorry, I apologize. The city is counting 15? Sites, yes, sorry, encampment sites. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions for Mr. Schmidt? Yes, Councilor Riepma.
Those 15 sites, I'm assuming they're city-owned properties, or are they on private property as well?
Through you, Mayor Nuttall, to Councillor Reitman, they would be on city-owned properties.
Right, okay. And I think that might explain some of the difference. I guess my other question is, we're dealing with encampments, but we're really also dealing with people. So do you have any sense of the people, what's happened with them? Like, are they, what percentage are in homes of some sort now, or any sense of that from the county?
Through you, Mayor Nuttall, to Councillor Reitman, what I can tell you, of the 607 individuals that are active homeless individuals in Barrie, according again to HIFIS, 166 of these individuals are in shelters. 47 have been identified as a term that the county uses as couch surfing, and then there's 340 that are considered to be in their temporary family shelter program. And then, of course, the 54 that are in encampments, so that equates to the 607.
Thank you.
Deputy Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor Nuttall. First of all, I'll say thanks to Mr. Schmidt and Ms. Cook. I know it's a challenging file and stuff, but the updates and all the work you guys are doing is appreciated from where I sit. This question is actually to you, Mayor Nuttall. The number was 607 or 609? 607. What was the number like September 8th, I guess?
I think the number they said was 690, maybe 693, something like that. And then, so you'll see roughly 85 to 90 people less now than there was. And I'm looking, yeah.
And maybe just to follow up, so, like, great progress, always more can be done, but seeing a decrease in numbers, as for years we've always seen an increase in numbers, so that's nice to see. I was wondering if there's any follow-up with the individuals, last place of residency, last employment, is that all done by the county, or are we doing that as a team?
Through you, Mayor Nuttall, to the Deputy Mayor, that would be through the county. We don't, the city doesn't track that information. It's really the outreach teams through the county that obtains that information.
Perfect, that's all, thank you.
I think on the tracking we have received input back on, like we're sitting over 80% of individuals that are getting, taking housing and then getting support. We have the Heart Hub operational, and when I say we, the county has the Heart Hub operational, and they're doing great work there. The RVH is the lead on it, which is a healthcare approach to this, which I think is what we've all been asking for. So there's some very good data coming out right now, Deputy Mayor, and I think that as the in the fullness of time, we'll be able to hopefully get to a place where we feel like we've got control of the situation. Mr. Schmidt, thank you so much, and to echo the Deputy Mayor's comments, it's not the most fun thing that we do at City Hall, but it's certainly amongst, if not the most important. And while you probably don't have people walking up to you onto the street saying thank you for all the work you and your team are doing, to our clerk and to Mr. Schmidt, I can tell you that I constantly have that on this subject, and it's your work that's helping that get there. So thank you on behalf of council. With those updates complete, and I don't really have any financial updates, is there any other business that folks would like to see before we step into an in-camera situation? Seeing that I don't, oh, sorry, yep, there you go.
Thank you. Through you, Mayor Nuttall, just top of mind, maybe to the question of as I am also getting kind of indicators of different movement or maybe encampments, however they may be defined, on private property or adjacent to private property. Is our pathway still to move through Service Barrie, or has anything in how we are looking at this change that we should be aware of? But otherwise, I'm still redirecting residents and or reaching out to Service Barrie if there's a question for investigation related to activity around private and or city property.
Through you, Mayor Nuttall, to Councillor Kungl, I would suggest that those questions be maybe redirected to Ms. Cook or myself,
Okay,
and or through enforcement services as opposed to Service Barrie.
okay, okay, thank you.
Okay. I don't think I'm seeing anyone else. So can I get a motion to move into close, please, from Deputy Mayor, seconded by Councillor Kungl. All those in favor? It's approved. So we're going to move over to Sir Robert Barrie. It is 4:23, and